Right now it's 6, an officer-involved shooting just blocks away from the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. And does political rhetoric bring us together or keep us apart? Ken and Allison have the answer in just a few minutes.
We're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Emily Brown. One person is dead following a head-on crash in the town of Arcadia this morning. According to the Trumpeldor County Sheriff's Office, the crash happened around 1:30 a.m. on Highway 93 near Losel Lane. A northbound and southbound vehicle collided head-on, killing the driver of the southbound vehicle. The driver of the northbound vehicle was taken to the hospital. The crash is still under investigation and names of those involved have not yet been released. The man wanted in a Madison attempted homicide has been arrested by U.S. Marshals in Gary, Indiana. 37-year-old Jerome Jacobs was wanted in connection to a June 9th drive-by shooting in Madison. 2 days later, he was located in Eau Claire, then fled from police, causing a shelter-in-place incident. He was able to escape the area with some help from 54-year-old Candace Rogers. She faces a charge of harboring or aiding a felon. The Republican National Convention has its nominees for the Oval Office, and while Donald Trump has called for a time of unity this week, the rest of the convention will be dedicated to what separates their party from Democrats. News 8 Now's Ken Kowzarowski is live in Milwaukee with more on whether partisan messaging could take on a new tone. Ken.
Good evening, Emily. Yeah, the word unity has been used quite widely throughout these first couple of days here in Milwaukee, and we've asked Wisconsin residents and lawmakers about what that essentially means, and we haven't heard a lot about finding a middle ground between the two parties. To them, the answer is unite means rallying completely around Donald Trump and to believe that he is best suited to lead the country forward into a new era of prosperity. Now, we caught up with CBS Mornings anchor Tony Dokoupil on this political rhetoric and whether there can be middle ground or a return to bipartisanship in how we talk about politics in America. He says the status quo for American politics is unlikely to change even after the unity calls from both Presidents Trump and Biden. He says that's because negative partisanship, or using language to make the opposing side seem like an enemy, proves effective year after year in getting people motivated to go to the polls. And Wisconsin lawmakers have hovered on that negative partisanship when it comes to them taking the floor at the RNC or in media availability.
Open borders, 40-year high inflation at dollars now worth 83 cents, a war on fossil fuels, the weakness, encouraging our adversaries, it's destroying this country. I'll stand by that. We have to run on those truths, those realities.
My Democrat colleagues, they want to focus on personalities rather than policy. Focus on policy. Look at 5 years ago. We had a strong America.
Now, Dokoupil says we might see a more measured approach in how some of those political messages are relayed to voters, but that could just be a fleeting thing here in American times. Now, we also spoke to the Democratic Party chair of Wisconsin, Ben Wickler. He says the temperature in politics can't necessarily be lowered because he accuses Trump of always raising the temperature to about 120. Now, the Dems are countering the RNC's events today with a focus on the conservative agenda project known as Project 2025, and as our own Allison Fergott explains, that is one project that former President Trump is keeping at arm's length.
The group behind Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation, has a booth here at the RNC. Go there and you'll get this pamphlet that has details about Project 2025 but doesn't go into specific policies. So, what is Project 2025?
Unprecedented in the history of the conservative movement.
In more than 900 pages, conservative leaders outlined their policy recommendations for the next Republican president, with plans for how to implement those policies.
The project is a representation of what a majority of Americans feel and believe.
The agenda focuses on concentrating power in the presidency and proposes controversial policies like ending the Department of Education and prosecuting people who send abortion pills through the mail.
Project 2025 is an extraordinary document because it lays out in detail how not just Trump, but the whole kind of MAGA extreme coalition plans to use its power if they get back into the Oval Office to rip away freedom.
Democrats are hitting on the agenda hard, aiming to tie the project to former President Trump. But he says he's unfamiliar with it, posting on Truth Social, quote, "I know nothing about it." The Heritage Foundation has said Trump is not affiliated with it, but at least 140 former Trump administration officials were in some way involved with Project 2025.
The Democrats they're trying to lay this at Donald Trump's feet because they don't have anything to go after him about.
But Wickler argues Project 2025 could easily be implemented if Trump is elected again.
Most Republican operatives and elected officials would agree Trump is not a details guy, but he does decide who carries out the details of governance. And Project 2025 is a blueprint for a MAGA regime that was written by the people who worked for him last time and are gearing up to work for him again if he gets back into the White House.
Right now, Democrats don't have a specific policy plan laid out like Project 2025, but in the coming weeks, especially right before the DNC, you can expect to see more policies laid out, especially for Joe Biden's first 100 days in office if he were reelected. Reporting in Milwaukee, Allison Fergit, News 8 Now.
Allison, thank you very much. The speeches have resumed inside Pfizer Forum. We are expecting Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, as well as Vivek Ramaswamy, all people who bowed out of the preliminary races against Donald Trump. Of course, they'll show their support for the president. Eric Hovde, who's running for Wisconsin Senate, is also scheduled to speak tonight. Reporting in downtown Milwaukee, I'm Ken Kozarowski for News 8 Now. Emily, back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Ken and Allison. We go to some breaking news from there in Milwaukee. A fatal officer-involved shooting is under investigation near 14th and Vliet, which is about 5 blocks west of the RNC security zone. A police source told CBS 58 Milwaukee that the officer involved is from Columbus, Ohio. That officer is in Milwaukee for the Republican National Convention. At this time, there's no evidence that the shooting is related to the RNC or the attempted assassination of former President Trump. On Saturday, authorities have not released further details about either the officer or the person who died. This is a developing story. We'll continue to follow it and update you throughout the evening on our digital platforms. We're learning of another plot to assassinate former President Trump. Multiple people briefed on the matter say U.S. authorities received intelligence in recent weeks on a plot by Iran. They say the development led the Secret Service to increase security around the former president. And they say there's no indication Thomas Matthew Crooks, Saturday's would-be assassin, was connected to the alleged Iranian plot. Iran has repeatedly vowed revenge for the U.S. military's killing of the commander of its Islamic Revolutionary Guard in January 2020 when Trump was president. Iran has not commented on the alleged plot. Well, a warmer day we had here in the region. Some nice sunshine, a little less humid, but we are expected for a cool down come tomorrow, Greg.
Yeah, we had sunshine this morning. We've had some cloud cover develop because that cooler air is beginning to push into the area. We might have a few sprinkles or maybe a shower out there. As you see, cloud cover has increased over La Crosse and Eau Claire. Temperatures topped off around they should be low to mid 80s, but the dew point definitely came down. Along with that, the river continues to fall. We're actually below now in Winona. The other ones will be in action stage for about another 3 to 4 days, and they'll quickly fall too. So not expecting any change. The only river flooding right now is the Kickapoo, which kind of looks like it has peaked towards, but these flood warnings continue until it could fall below in a couple days. That's the only area that we're concerned with right now. Otherwise, there's your dew points compared to yesterday in the upper 60s to low 70s. Definitely more mild, and there's that little area of cloud cover that developed a shower. Daytime heating's helped that with a little bit more north of Ladysmith too. So we got a few hours to come through with some light showers or sprinkles. Most areas won't see any of this. Some areas will just see a couple sprinkles or so. Otherwise, as you see, temperatures will continue to fall back into the upper 60s along with that sprinkle or shower chance here throughout the evening. But all in all, it's going to be quite a nice evening going on, and it just gets better and better. Unfortunately, we will not see these average temperatures. We'll actually be below average for a while, and it looks like that may be for about 4 or 5 days, and I'll explain that a bit later in the broadcast.
Okay, thank you, Greg. U.S. News and World Report is recognizing UW Health and Mayo Clinic on their annual list of best hospitals. Released today, the list names UW Health the top state hospital for the 13th year running. Mayo Clinic's Eau Claire location was recognized as a top regional hospital. The report ranked it #1 in northwestern Wisconsin and #4 in the state overall. The list rates Mayo Eau Claire as high performing in several different fields, including congestive heart failure, diabetes, and other treatment areas. Mayo's chief value officer says the organization owes much of its success to its patient-first principles.
The thing about Mayo Clinic is we're not just a collection of hospitals. We're 80,000 people that work in many different hospitals, but we share the same goals of providing the best care on the planet. And so we all share the primary value of the needs of the patient comes first.
And the list doesn't leave out Mayo Clinic here in La Crosse. The hospital is rated as high performing in acute myocardial infarction, congestive heart failure, and pneumonia. President Biden continues his campaign after cooling efforts down because of Trump's assassination attempt. We'll tell you why Biden says voters should be keeping an eye out on Trump.
Chart your career with a welding position at Chart Industries. Do you have a year or more of welding experience? Starting wages up to $35 per hour. We have the job for you. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Isn't it time you turn your backyard into the oasis you've always wanted? Come to La Crosse Fireplace Company and find your outdoor setup. Imagine gathering with family and friends around your wood-fired pizza oven. Sit back and relax around your new fire table. Available in different sizes and styles to fit your lifestyle and budget. Stop in this month and receive 15% off all in-stock outdoor products. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is outside by the fire.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message. Our Constitution has given us more rights, freedoms, and prosperity than any country in history. Every 4th of July, we come together to celebrate those freedoms. But right now, we're a divided nation. We have to stop putting on the blue jersey or red jersey. Instead, put on the red, white, and blue jersey. Come together and get things done.
I'm proud to be an American.
Did you realize 90% of roofs are replaced before they need to be? With roof costs doubling in the past 5 years, there is a better solution. What if I told you there's a way to extend the life of your roof while also providing extra protection against hail, UV rays, high winds, water, and granule loss? Go Nano is a roof treatment that uses nanotechnology to extend the life of your roof 5 to 15 additional years and is 80 to 90% less expensive than replacing your roof. Contact Clear Choice today for your free roof evaluation or to learn more.
Chart your career with a welding position at Chart Industries. Do you have a year or more of welding experience? Starting wages up to $35 per hour. We have the job for you. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
President Biden addressed the NAACP convention today after pausing his campaign following the assassination attempt on former President Trump. The president continues to call for unity, but is also drawing a contrast between his policies and Trump's. The president made an appeal to black voters who overwhelmingly supported him in the 2020 presidential election to help him secure a second term. Recent CBS News polls show Biden trailing former President Trump in every battleground state, including Nevada. Speaking to NBC News' Lester Holt, President Biden says he misspoke on a private donor call when he said that voters should put former President Trump in a bullseye, but criticized Trump's own rhetoric.
Didn't say crosshairs, I meant bullseye, I meant focus on it. How do you talk about the threat to democracy, which is real, when a president says things like he says? Do you just not say anything because it may incite somebody?
With Democratic calls for Biden to step down on pause, President Biden is ramping up his re-election effort. The president is set to address the largest annual gathering of Latino advocates and policymakers in Vegas Wednesday, and not her crucial voting bloc. President Biden also unveiled a new proposal calling for limits on some annual rent increases. A local school district is making sure their students are safe. We'll take a look on how staff are preparing when we come back.
And definitely cooler is going to be the word for the next several days. We can see temperatures in the 70s. Overnight lows could get into the 40s. Definitely an opportunity to open those windows up and enjoy this refreshing air. I'll break down when we might actually see warmer conditions coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Knutson Roofing, locally owned with 20 years of experience to get your project done right the first time. Whether it's roofing, window, or siding installation, we offer reliable, dependable, and quality work we stand behind. Knutson Roofing. Call or visit us online today.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
I'm 82. 86.
90 years young.
Eric Hovde thinks people like us shouldn't be able to vote.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
Son, I've served this country. I think I can handle a ballot.
What a jerk.
Eric Hovde, I'm fully aware of whom I'm voting for, and it won't be you.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you quality pet supplies because we get you. Right now, during our summer pet care sale, shop unbeatable deals on your pet's favorite food and supplies to keep them happy and healthy. Like a free $15 Blaine's gift card when you spend $60 on Blue Buffalo dog food and treats. These large bags of AgriMaster poultry feed, just $11.99 for rewards members. Plus, make animal prescriptions simple. Visit BlainesRx.com to get started.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Chevy lets you begin every day fully charged, so you can go farther. And so can your money. Tow with confidence. Plus, stay connected with available OnStar technology. For summer adventures, Chevy's got you. Get 1.9% financing on this 2024 Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. Or get $5,750 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Visit HometownChevy.com.
Asher Laston Exteriors is committed to craftsmanship, innovation, and outstanding customer service as Western Wisconsin's trusted retractable awning and solar screen experts. Sonesta retractable awnings and solar screens protect you from the harsh sun. With over 150 fabrics to choose from and the largest sizes available, you can create shade to match your home and style. Save up to 22% with zero down and no interest or payments for up to 18 months with Sonesta retractable awnings, brought to you by Asher Laston Exteriors.
Knutson Roofing, locally owned with 20 years of experience to get your project done right the first time. Whether it's roofing, window, or siding installation, we offer reliable, dependable, and quality work we stand behind. Knutson Roofing. Call or visit us online today.
Understanding how threat assessment can help stop school violence. That was the goal of a training event at West Salem's Hyder Center today. The course was designed for school administrators, security personnel, and law enforcement. The West Salem School District teamed up with the State Office of School Safety to hold the training, which ran from 8 to 4. Topics included creating threat assessment teams, how to respond to concerning behavior, and threat management strategies. Today's event was the first of 4 threat assessment training sessions being run by the Office of School Safety throughout the state this year. Well, it's definitely not going to feel like a typical July here in the next couple of days, and Greg is ready to tell us why. Greg.
Yeah, definitely. This time of year, our average temperature is peaking in the mid 80s right now through about the next week before we start falling. So we should be real warm, but this weekend is definitely a different change going on. We still got a sprinkle or maybe a shower this evening, probably till about 10, 11. Most areas will remain dry. Unseasonably cool through Friday. We could see highs maybe 10 degrees below what they should be this time of year and low relative humidity. Mild weekend, it's going to come up just a little bit, but we do have some clouds. Maybe a shower. We'll keep an eye on that, but overall I think most areas will remain dry. Right now the main story is this low up to the north here that continues to push southward. This is associated with some cooler air mass, and Canadian air mass that continues to push south, and it's going to continue to push all the way south. So eastern half of the U.S. is going to be cool while the west starts heating up. And here's your activity of thunderstorms that push well to the south. We still got a little bit of showers there coming through right now, and that's kind of what we're looking at. Here, other picture look shows you kind of where it is right now. There's that complex yesterday that caused the kind of the derecho to northern Illinois into Chicago. Here's up there, there's your cooler conditions around that. Right now, that's your temperature right there in Armstrong in Canada. 61 gives you an idea how cool it's going to be here as that air comes down here. For tomorrow, we're going to see maybe a little patchy morning fog in some areas. I think most areas will stay dry. Temperatures in the 50s for the most part. plenty of sunshine, and then with the daytime heating, cooler air mass coming overhead, you get some cumulus clouds that develop in the afternoon hours. They'll kind of peak in the afternoon and then kind of dissipate by evening. With a north wind, you'll definitely feel a little bit cooler tomorrow. The humidity levels will be low. This will go on through tomorrow evening. We'll set up kind of almost a chilly, you could call it, going into Thursday morning. Now, overall, this pattern of where the east is going to stay cool with this low up to the north and the west will start heating up, it's going to kind of stay in place throughout the week, even through the weekend. Although it might change a little bit, the overall pattern really won't change. Mild conditions by the weekend, cool up to the north, and the west kind of heats back up after they kind of had a brief cool down. So the only thing that we're watching is there is a weak little system that's going to come through potentially Friday into Saturday. Cold front up to the north, a little system diving south that may provide more cloud cover for most areas coming in Saturday and Sunday, maybe a shower. We'll keep an eye on that Saturday. I think the chances are pretty low, maybe confined to northern Wisconsin and far south, but that's about really the only precipitation chance here that we're looking at for the weekend. But otherwise, there's your temperatures. 76 on Alaska as you go further south, 75 in Soldiers Grove. Once again, these should be about the mid-80s. Overall to the north, 74 at Acadia and 73 in Malmland Center, and then way up to the north we're looking at Ladysmith, I could say, at 71 and then 73. So these are 10 degrees, 15 degrees below average, and that continues through Friday with just a slight increase in temperatures and these overnight lows. Although we're in the mid-50s in most areas, some areas will dip into the 40s overnight in a couple of these mornings, and rain chances weak this weekend, maybe some more next weekend. But all in all, you can't beat these conditions for the middle of July.
Let's just hope it doesn't get as cool as you, Greg. We're going to need a winter jacket.
That's a yes.
Okay, all right. Coming up in sports, Christian Yelich talks about what it's like being an all-star. Plus a new addition for the Bucks. Find out which new sharpshooter Milwaukee has added. Jacob is up next.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows, installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
Drug companies are making record profits while our families struggle. As a state lawmaker, I've passed bills to cut prescription drug costs. I'm Katrina Shanklin, and I approve this message because in Congress, I'll work with anyone to negotiate lower drug prices.
If you're interested in installing a solar system this year, listen up. We only have a few available spots remaining in 2024. Scan the QR code on your screen now to save your spot so you can get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Get your ideal combination of power and capability. And experience hands-free highway driving technology with Ford Blue Cruise, available on select vehicles. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, so make it yours. Make it now. Get 0% financing for 36 months plus $0 first month payment plus no payments for 90 days on select Ford SUVs. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
If you're interested in installing a solar system this year, listen up. We only have a few available spots remaining in 2024. Scan the QR code on your screen now to save your spot so you can get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy.
Congress has been spinning its wheels, going nowhere. I'm Katrina Shanklin. In the state capitol, I've passed 225 bipartisan laws to help farmers, workers, and families. I approve this message because I have the experience to get things moving.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
Well, as we've got nice and cool summer conditions around here, the temperature for first pitch at the MLB All-Star Game is projected to be 101 degrees, and the best of the best will look to impress in the Midsummer Classic. First pitch is set for 7 o'clock for the showcase. Pirates rookie pitcher Paul Skeens will get the ball for the NL, while former Brewer Corbin Burns is scheduled to start for the American League. Prior to last year's game, the AL had won 9 straight over their counterpart. It'll be Christian Yelich's first time playing in the game since 2019, and it's safe to say he is excited to be recognized once again as one of the premier players on the field.
Yeah, anytime you get to come here, it's special, and
hang out with some of the best players in the game and be part of the All-Star game. And to really be able to do it through like different parts of my career has been kind of cool.
Yelich will hit 6th in the NL lineup, and his teammate, who mans the backstop, William Contreras, will hit 5th. This marks the first time since 2014 that Milwaukee's had multiple starters in the All-Star game. The Loggers begin a 4-game homestand tonight at Copeland Park. 2 games with the Duluth Huskies tonight and tomorrow. And then the Minot Hot Tots come into town Thursday and Friday. Lacrosse is coming off a series split up in Canada with Thunder Bay. Loggers will look to head into their All-Star break on the right note as festivities begin next Monday in Mankato. And the regular season is August 10th. And as a reminder, Lacrosse has already claimed a spot in the playoffs thanks to their first half record. And some offseason roster news for the Bucks reported today. Milwaukee and free agent guard Gary Trent Jr. agreed to a 1-year deal. His agents told Adrian Wojnarowski, with not much cap space for moves, this definitely looks like the most impactful addition that GM John Horst has constructed this summer, as Trent Jr. averaged a touch under 14 points per game last year while shooting 39% from 3. He's a fantastic floor spacing option and reunites with his former Portland Trailblazer teammate Damian Lillard in hopes of bringing a championship back to Milwaukee. Emily, the 101 degrees used to be a Texan. Is that like crazy to go watch a baseball game in, or is that something that you would do?
You know what? I've gotten spoiled living in the Midwest for the past four-ish years. 101, yeah, that's hot. Today I was hot in a high of 85-degree temps. I could barely finish my run.
You're getting soft.
Yeah, I am getting soft. I need to truck it back down to the mid of August in Texan and rebuild up
there you go.
my stamina for it.
Should be a good game, though.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Good, best of luck to them, and we'll have another look at your forecast right after this.
Save big Monday through Sunday at Hy-Vee. All natural chicken breast, just $3.88. Driscoll strawberries, just $2.44 a pound when you buy a 2-pound pack. And Hy-Vee yogurt, 3 for just $1. Monday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
Ever wonder why most window replacements fail? It's the installation process. Hi, I'm Steve from ClearChoice. Many companies rush through installations using the caulk and walk methods. They pop the old windows out, slap the new ones in, add a few screws and smears of caulk, then hurry on to the next job. Your window ends up barely hanging on. At ClearChoice, our Weather Guardian installation process ensures your windows are secure and airtight. Don't compromise on quality. Choose ClearChoice Window and Home Solutions for windows that stand the test of time.
Save big Monday through Sunday at Hy-Vee. Lay's, Kettle Cooked, Rolled Gold, or Munchies, $1.99 each when you buy 2. Jack's Pizza, $2.98. And buy 2, get 1 free on Coke or Topo Chico Sabores. Monday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
All right, if you're doing hiking, golfing, whatever you want to do outside, it's going to be a great day to do it, besides maybe the bugs out there. Everything should be really cool and comfortable with that north wind blowing. Otherwise, these cool conditions continue through Friday. More clouds this weekend, maybe a shower this weekend, still a slight shot. Otherwise, comfortable throughout even next week. We really don't get back to average until next week.
Well, the cooler temps get rid of the gnats.
It makes it feel a little more comfortable, but it doesn't really get rid of them.
They're so bad. Go away, gnats. All right, thank you for joining us for News 8 now at 6. We'll see you at 10.